Hello everyone, so in the previous video we talked about the form of present perfect tense, the functions of present perfect tense, and the usage of present perfect tense. So in this video we are going to have a practice of using present perfect tense. Before we start, let's have a quick revision of how do we construct a present perfect tense. So first, depending on which pronoun we are using, we must have has or have, and then followed by a past participle. So I will do the first question for you as an example. For part 1, fill in the blanks appropriately using present perfect tense. So question 1, she, and then the bracket, forget her folder. So obviously if we are using she as a pronoun, we are using has, and then the PP form of the verb, which is forgotten. So the answer should be she has forgotten her folder. Now let's take 1 minute to complete question 2 and question 3. Alright, the answer for question 2 is quite obvious. Right, first, let's decide if we are using has or have. So we are looking at the pronoun they, so we are using have. They have, the PP form of write is written, so they have written 3 letters already. Right, question 3. We are using the pronoun she, so we should be using has. And then the past participle form of live is lived. So because live is a regular verb, so we just add a D at the end of it. Now part 2, fill in the blanks appropriately using present perfect tense and the word since and for. Now since and for are time indicators. When we're using since, we are stating the starting point of an event, and when we are using for, we are talking about the duration of an event. For question 1, Joseph, so Joseph is a he, so we use has. Joseph has played football. So now we need to decide if we are using since or we are using for. Joseph has played football, blank. He was 10 years old. So we are not talking about the duration of time. We're not talking about how long has he played football. We are talking about the starting point when he started playing football, right? When he was 10 years old, he started playing football. So Joseph has played football since he was 10 years old. Now please take 2 minutes to complete question 2 to 5. Alright, time is up. Question 2. Mary and James. So they are the pronoun they have. Alright. Mary and James have been friends for 20 years. This is how long they have been friends. So they have been friends for 20 years, right? So question number 3, Mary and James. So it is also the pronoun they. Mary and James have been friends now. When they started being friends. So when they were 6. So Mary and James have been friends since they were 6. So I have lived in the United States since 1990. The church has started refurbishing the cathedral since 4 years ago. So the church started refurbishing the cathedral 4 years ago, but it hasn't finished. The action of refurbishment hasn't finished. It started in the past and continues in the present. So that is why we are using present perfect tense. So the action is not finished yet. So you can see in the next sentence, the refurbishment will be finished next spring. So the refurbishment is not finished and it started 4 years ago. So we are using present perfect tense. So now let's take a look at part 3. Fill in the blanks using never. So when do we use never? We use never to talk about experiences, right, that we don't have up to the moment. So for the first example, we have never been to Japan. So you don't have the experience of being to Japan, alright? Have you noticed where do we insert never? If you're paying attention, we're inserting never in between of the have and then the PP. So we are inserting it in the middle of have and then the PP. Now let's take 2 minutes to complete question 2 to 5. Alright, question 2. he has never drunk a Coke before. Question 3. Billy has never told a lie. And then question 4. I have never failed a test. I've always gotten 80% or more. And finally, question 5. They have never heard of Benjamin Franklin. So there's a slight mistake here, so this should be here. So it is an advantage for you to not looking up the irregular verb table to check for the past participle of here. Of course, you can also use not to replace never. For example, example 1, we have not, or you can say we haven't been to Japan. So in this case, the meaning is the same, right? But in some cases, if you switch never to not, meanings can change, but it varies from cases to cases. Okay, now let's take a look at part 4. Part 4. Fill in the blanks appropriately using just, yet, and already. So these 3 words are adverb of time. These are the indicators that suggest we should use present perfect tense. So I will do question 1 to 3 with you. Question number 1. She has left the building. So which one should we use? Should we use just, yet, or already? We can use just or already. But the meaning is different. When we are using just, we're indicating that this is a recent event. The action of leaving happened not very long ago. And when we're using already, she has already left the building. We are putting emphasis of the action of leaving. Alright, question 2. She hasn't finished it yet. We're using yet. Yet is used in a negative sentence. That means something is expected to happen, but he hasn't finished it. So he is expected to finish it by then, but he hasn't. So we can put yet at the end of the present perfect tense to stress that. So the answer is yet. He hasn't finished it yet. Question number 3. Lily has done her homework, so she can use her iPad freely. So we should use already in question 3. Why? Because Lily is not expected to have finished her homework, but she is, so she finished her homework before the expected time. So the consequence is she can use her iPad freely. So we are stressing about the time of the action. It's like what we mentioned in question 1. So this is the end of the practice video. If you have more questions, please have a look back at the first video. Maybe it will clear your doubts. Thank you for watching.